Hello guys, and welcome to the Redstone Files, episode dos, that means 2, and I have burning zombies. In the last episode we focused on anything and everything that has to do with like any blocks or entities that have to do with redstone. So that was that. This episode we're going to be talking about logic gates, which is that very long list of stuff. And that's not even all of them. This is all that we're going to be covering that I really think that you need to know. So let's turn on the lights in case it gets dark out. Pick up some bones. And let's get started. So this right here is an input-output gate. So we've got a switch going into a block. When the switch goes off, it powers the block, and the redstone goes through and just turns on the piston. I'm just using the piston as an example. I could use a lamp, or really anything. I see a NOT gate, which is the opposite of an input-output gate, does exactly what I just said. It's the opposite. So as you can see, these are both up, and these, one is up and one is down. So now when these are both down, they're opposite again. Basically how you do this is this block powers this, which turns off the torch, because remember from last episode, when the block connected to the torch is powered, the torch turns off. So when the torch turns off, it just does that. So it's basically an inverter. That's what a NOT gate is. So anything you put, any power that goes into this block. This is an AND gate and is widely used among most redstoners. So what it does is you need to have both switches on, providing power to turn these switches off, which turns this one off. Now you need to have both of them. It needs to be both of them for this to go up. Now it can't just be one, they can't both be on, it needs to be both. Now a NAND gate is the opposite. AND gate, NAND gate, yeah. So basically, they need to be both off for this to work. And sorry about this. You have three blocks, torch, redstone, torch, and then another torch on the side. And this is just 3 blocks, torch, redstone, torch, and then redstone just coming off. So you just don't use this torch. Next, the OR gate. This is when any of the inputs are on. When any of the inputs are on in this block, you could have redstone just coming into each block. But if any of the inputs are on, then this is on. And only one of the inputs has to be on for any of these to work. So it doesn't matter. This is a NOR gate. So it's like, again, it's like the OR gate, just the opposite. So it needs to be any of them to be on for this to be off. Sorry about that. But this is a XOR gate, or an XOR gate. And basically, these two sides need to be opposite for a pulse to come out. So you see both on, off. Now they're opposite, and it's on. Now they're both off, both on. And how do you make this? I seem to be forgetting this. So you have a T, or like a Tetris piece, and you have a torch and a torch, and an input, and redstone down here, and a torch on the side, and a torch and the input. And from there you have these 2 blocks that are one way, and you have redstone going from here onto there, on top of the block, and those both have torches on them. Those torches lead into redstone, which power a piston. Now if you want a XNOR gate, this is a XOR gate, or yeah, I don't know. These are both just gates. But anyways, I'm sorry if you can't hear, because I can barely hear. But what this does is just the opposite. So yeah, this is the opposite, where you just pretty much instead of have that, you just put another torch on, inverting the signal, which is one of these gates that we learned back there. So now, if they're both on the same, then there'll be an output signal. And this is a rapid pulsar. This, as you can see, creates a very rapid pulse that just pumps you up and down and creates this annoying noise pattern. So I'm just going, thank God. Now basically, since when redstone is just looped around onto the same, torches flicker and burn out. So this just cycles through torches, so this burns out, then this burns out, then this burns out, then like one of these burns out, and they're just keeping track of each other so that they keep pulsing. Now how you do this is 2 blocks with torches on either side, then you have redstone going across that way and across that way. So there you go, that's that. Now this is an RS NOR latch, or a memory cell, used for like clocks and stuff. So, see this, when you power this, then it just flips through, and now this does nothing. It does nothing. And you have to power the next one. I haven't really used these much, but they're interesting. Now here is a repeater. Basically, it just extends it. It extends the pulse, but it adds another tick. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Where was I? Repeater, okay. I probably just went over this, but basically what it does is when you have it inverted, so that it goes through 15 blocks, and then you do this again, which inverts it again, so it's the original power, and it adds a tick, or 2 ticks, because a torch delays 1 tick, it's turning on and off, delays 1 tick. And so this would go through, and pretty much each wire would be 15 blocks, so that this would go 30 blocks, just waiting 2 ticks to power. And of course it still works. Finally, we have a 5 clock. And what a 5 clock is just a slower pulsar, or it's a constant pulsar. And just basically, it's called a 5 clock because it's got 5 blocks in the 5 clock. Get it? Okay. So basically, this took me a little bit to learn how to make because the wiring is a bit precise. So you have two blocks that are 2 blocks apart. So you have, then you have a torch facing the other block, and you have another torch doing the same. You have redstone coming from this one to here. And then this goes into another block that is directly this side. Then you have 3 blocks that are both 2 blocks apart, with torches facing the opposite direction as these, only on 2 of these, with the redstone going into the next block. Here you have the torch coming in this direction, so the other direction, like taking a 90 degree turn, and then you have the redstone that comes from there and goes into here. And this is where the output is. You don't drag the output from anywhere else or else you'll break it, because, unless you want to use like repeaters, but then again it would still break it because the redstone needs to be going directly into the block. So this is what the corner is for. It's specifically for the output. So there we go, guys. This has been the logic gates, and we did it before the sun could set on us, which is pretty good. Any questions, please leave it in the comments below. I'll be getting to more redstone creations, so if you have any ideas on what I should make, this is so annoying, but if you have any ideas on what I should make, please tell me and PM or comment, whatever you want. I will do my best and try to make something and make what you ask. And if you don't like ask for anything, I will just make something myself. Basically right here, just have a little lighting setup. So lever, wire, and just got that long rail. and the repeaters just delay it by 1 tick, so it looks cool. So that in the middle of the night, it goes off light by light. Other than the lighting glitches, of course. But there you go, guys. My name is LegoRocks99, Dr. Squid. My YouTube channel is CreeperCollision, and I hope you will consider subscribing, thumbsing up, commenting, of course, because I need your feedback on what you think of all of these, and all that jazz. My outros are like 20 minutes long, a minute longer than I expect them to be. But whatever, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.